Is that
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is episode 70 of the People's Podcast. Today we're gonna be talking about actually the difference between our generation, the 80s and before, and then today's generation, which should be a fun discussion to talk about, meaning that it's way different from what you see. I mean, from where we came from. Like this is something new. Like it's a new breed of people out here, kids like that. Anybody want to chime in on that?
Ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
Yeah, what you call it? I think Eric trying to unmute. Rick, he popped out as soon as I hit record. I just let him back in. I'm waiting on his audio to connect.
You know, it is crazy being a 70s babies. It is totally different looking at things from how the world is now.
Yeah, I was born in 73. I feel you, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then the thing is, well, I wasn't there in the 70s. Can y'all compare the 70s to the 80s?
That's a good one.
I'm in the 70s because my first 5 years was the last 5 years of the so I can't compare nothing really.
Well, my memory is from 84 on until now. So I was 4 with
You know, something what we got to do is I'm looking at that because when you say compare, like you say it that much, you can't say if McDonald's is better than or not.
Oh, it was.
I see
will
exactly
say that. And it probably was healthier too.
I say comparing that from the 80s, it became more technology based. It was more like little stuff was popping up like a video game here, a microwave, and things of that sort coming from that era. You know, like instead of the rotary phone, it was more push button phones. Everything started advancing up. So technology did start taking over from 70 to 80.
Yeah. I want to say I was born in 83, but I recall being in elementary school, I want to say it was either 5th or 6th grade where they introduced us to the internet.
Mm.
It was, you talking about the apples, the black with the black screen with the green letters?
Yeah. That
was hard drives, the flash, floppy disk,
yeah. And the classic game that everybody loved, Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail, yeah. It was a privilege to play it. Like you got 100% on assignment, they'll let you play it. Yeah.
And then I want to say,
and that was like Madden 2022 for us back then.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Then Atari came along. That was technology for your ass, wasn't it?
Yeah. Nintendo.
See, that's more into the 90s right there. Wait. I used to say 88,
about
89.
88, 89.
Yeah. But that was a gold mine then. You know, that was a luxury back then.
But take in mind, ain't nobody still said nothing about there was a phone involved.
You had one of them big ass big backs. No,
that was the 90s. That was the 90s and stuff. But you got to look at as we coming up through that thing. It was all about fun and being around people.
Yeah.
As we get into that phone section, that's when people start getting disenfranchised. Seem like.
Yeah, it detaches you from reality, and it also just detaches you from what's going on, like other people, like interaction with people.
Exactly.
And it loses your contact with what's around you. Like you can actually see people driving and texting, walking and texting. You wonder how where they going from point A to B. You have
how do you keep your bearings constantly looking down?
Exactly. And then I'm guilty of this too. When I drove, you ever text and drive and be texting so much and having a full conversation while driving, get to your destination and wonder how the hell you got there?
I don't think texting was really introduced until late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, now it's
Define
easier
mistaken.
too. Remember, you used to have to go through the three letters per
Yeah,
button?
per number. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish the hell I would now. I'm calling
Hey,
everybody.
Hey,
it's
I
all
said that on a
subject.
couple episodes back. You remember how you used to have to do the little designs and shit to make the emojis and shit back then?
Yeah. Yep. And now they got them already.
And I come straight home from the joint. I'm texting chicks, and then my brother, I'm texting him one day. He hit me back. He didn't even text me back. He called me right back. He said, "Bro, don't do that shit. That's gay."
That's hilarious.
And now people would rather text than to talk to somebody.
Exactly, crazy.
Because I know in the beginning when they these cell phones started getting smarter and smarter, I hated texting. I'm like, you wasted all my time waiting on the response back through a text when you could have just called me on the phone and said that within 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all in the same breath. So much to say.
Plus, it's a lot to be lost in translation when you reading the text.
Ooh, they get taken out of context so much.
Yeah, easily and quickly. I think a lot of that got to do with normally the people that we deal with, we know their personalities and their attitudes. So when they text us something, we thinking when we read it, they would be saying it like this with that type of tone or
But
something.
see,
And ain't none of that going on.
you can get lost in translation through text messages too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's for that sense only. It's easier not to if you know the person, but if somebody you don't know, you get a certain text, you be like, what the hell that mean? Like, what the hell? But the newer generations, they got everything pretty much handed to them and still don't want, I feel, like this is my opinion, I feel like they still don't want to work for nothing. It's a lot of entitlement, which I don't understand.
So also over the past few decades, a decline in morals and values.
Well, that too. And then the kids, which it's not making sense to me. The kids that we brung in and raised and taught, they go by the same ethic code, moral code we was taught. So there's a disconnect, and I was thinking like anybody can have any idea where you think the disconnect might have been from our generation and now generation.
The disconnect started with the internet. And like
you would say anything like drugs or something like that.
I mean, drugs have been around since forever. I don't think necessarily it's the drugs, but I think it's more like what Roy has said. People used to be around each other, and you camaraderie. You don't have that anymore. I mean, people are still social, but they social from their own little bubble. That's not really social. You might be talking to a group of people, but you're not talking to them directly. You can't look nobody in the eye. You know what I'm saying?
And now it's time for that now. I mean, it's acceptable now because of Corona and everything like that. It's acceptable, but before that, it was still the same issue. So you're right about that. Even before the pandemic.
And just listening at that and thinking on it, a lot of it comes to is it seems like as a generation goes through, our principles start getting diminished as well. So if you ain't standing on nothing, how can you expect somebody around you or in front of you to stand on something if you ain't standing on your own?
And that's where the fight is. That's where the never-ending fight is. I can teach my kids this and that, but I can't teach nobody else's kids nothing. That pretty much that I can't be a parent to no other kid but mine. And then back in our day, it took a village to raise a child. Y'all remember that saying?
Yes.
Now it take a tablet. Now it take a tablet.
Yeah,
take a tablet or a smartphone.
Yeah,
but that's like I said.
And they good.
It's a decline within morals and values. Principles go right along with that.
Because
I
mean, look, no disrespect to no one. But my personal belief, if a motherfucker can tell me something over a tablet and make me want to hurt me, that's a bad motherfucker. I'm soft as fuck. One or the other.
True,
one or the other.
Because
nigga, you're gonna have to put your hands on me for me to hurt me.
Right. True. And then you have to realize that's the most cowardice thing you can do. Be out of reach of somebody and try to insult them. So I'm gonna harm myself because they too scared to tell me in person.
So that principle right there let me know that if your mama cough, you gonna run and hide, because we had them mamas that would put hands and feet on us.
Yeah.
Pick up shit too.
So when mama gave you that certain look, you knew nigga, tighten up or get tightened up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know, they got rules and
and it's
regulations now where you can't, you know, the children know at a certain age, well, I could just call the police and that'll end all of that.
well, we gonna be both some
Well,
homeless
our parents
motherfuckers
used to
because
hand us the phone like, call
we
us.
gonna
They don't
both
want
be
your ass.
homeless because I'm gonna put hands on your motherfucking ass, and after that, we both going our way. We gonna be homeless.
Yeah, man. Shoot. Here, give me the phone. I'll dial the number. Ain't care. And
Like I
back
say,
then, though,
you got just as much to lose as I do. I grew up in the system, so look, feel it. If that's what you want, feel it.
damn, Candyman, that's like a fucking suicide bomber, though. Really, like that's harsh.
You know something though, bro? I sit back and I say that because that's how I stand on my kids about shit. And I'm gonna stand if I'm gonna stand on a nigga in the street, I'm gonna stand on anybody like this. So I feel that to say, all I ask for is my respect, and I'm gonna give you that 110% in return.
And
And
a
people in
little
this
bit of
world,
a little bit of it go a long way.
and in return, people in this day and age just feel like you have to do things. They're entitled for you gotta do things. No, you have the right to say, no, or hell fucking no, I don't want to do it. And you can't be mad at me for my opinion on that.
Yeah. No. Especially if it has something to do with something you own, you doing somebody else a favor.
But
No.
I'm saying this in a general of how when you look at people, how they pile shit on somebody else and get mad at what that person declines to do, they don't think about the big picture. You're not respecting that person's boundaries. It all goes back to that. And it seems like when these video games and that disenfranchised from the friend, the playing, the running and stuff rolls back all into how we really start separating rather than being a unit.
Yeah. Ain't no such thing as a village no more. That's why a village can't raise a child.
Exactly.
And then it's really no circles either. Like everybody is spread apart.
Well, if you noticed, most of the really good people, the people that have the morals and the values and principles, and the ones that try to actually care about one another and look out for one another, they far few and in between. Some of the best people I know don't even live in the same state with me. You know what I mean? So it's really becoming harder. And then on top of it, I mean, you got the news fear mongering, scaring everybody, like especially with this COVID. You don't even want to be within 6 feet of somebody.
Well, they're using it to separate people too as well, which you said that was going to happen eventually. Like now it's like the vaxxers against the non-vaxxers, and then now it's and on all levels it's being separated. It's being mandated by the government for their employees, and then eventually, like in my position and my line of work, it's going to be like, well, if you don't, then you got to go every week or every 2 weeks and get tested and stuff like that. So they pushing the envelope to the point to where
that's a mean game. That's a mean game. That's mean.
Could you imagine the world
that's
like
extortion?
And then when they said you're gonna have
to,
and you're gonna have to, you gotta feed your family though.
Oh.
Could you imagine the world being like this back in the 80s or the early 90s?
They wouldn't have went for that shit.
Went for it.
At all. But
they'd have burned some shit down.
I think it's more corrupt, so on a higher level now too then.
But you got to look at it too. Let's go back to the economical part of it too. Back then, in the 80s and 90s, blacks really wasn't playing it in like how they are now. So they were ready to fight for what little bit they had. Now they got everybody so superficial that they'll accept anything to keep that little position.
It was a point in time when I was in school, I'd say probably elementary or middle school, where if your child wasn't vaccinated, he couldn't come to school.
That's still to this day now. That's been the thing ever since I can remember. Yeah, that's the thing now. They have to have their shots before they go to school.
They've been a little bit more lenient on it all the way up until COVID.
I did not know that because I mean, like I remember going because I had to pay cash out of pocket for those damn shots. So I remember that very, very clearly. Yeah. And it had to be done. You had to have that sit in and everything.
That one last time.
And the thing is,
had to get the last 3 boxes.
Now y'all see they pushing an agenda on younger people taking the vaccine.
Yeah, most definitely. I was gonna say though, this would between the generations, the music has extremely changed.
Oh
Most
yeah.
definitely. Most
Like
definitely.
R&B, not even R&B no more. They don't really sing about being in love and getting married. No, none of that. It's just all a lust free for all about sex. Some of the top artists, they constantly making songs about cheating on or not. I ain't gonna say cheating on they women or men, but cheating, getting your spouse to cheat on you, basically.
Yeah, or Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you might get, you know, it used to be wholesome R&B. Now you might get punched in the face at a concert or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ain't no smooth, easy
Ain't no
listening no more.
smooth, no more turtlenecks looking out the window in the rain. None of that no more.
Ain't
It's
no
all like,
more getting peed on, y'all. Ain't no more
Yeah.
getting peed on.
now they spitting in people's mouth and shit like that, like real crazy shit.
Yeah.
What you have to go back and do now is got to go back and listen to these lyrics, especially because we live in the day and age where the pedophiles is like a high-ranking thing or concern for everybody. Like it was this dude had a video. He was in the old school, and I think it was a Keith Sweat song. You might be young, but you ready. I'm like, that's a hell of a lyrics right there.
But you listen to the ad libs, they say ready to learn. You know, and that's not cool. Like, yeah, he gonna be the first one to teach you. No.
They fucking sucking it and all that.
Say what?
But we can get the boom stars to the mountain.
But yeah, man, everything is different. The music is, I want to say garbage, but I want to say, I say that to say this. Y'all hold on to y'all people y'all listen to, y'all old school people, man, and keep them relevant.
What?
Hold on to the
I
old
find myself nowadays
the
listening to a
A-Ball, the
lot of
MJGs, the Mr. Mikes, the
yeah.
actually the Keith Sweats, the you know what I'm saying, 20, stuff like that stuff that
Isley Brothers. you know.
Isley's, hold on to that though, you know. 'Cause, I mean, and if y'all notice, everybody on this panel listen to that type of stuff, that old school, more than they do listen to new stuff.
Yes, you're correct.
And it gets you through some stuff. I don't want to listen to no shit to make me more angry, upset. I want to listen to some motivational type shit.
Frequencies and vibrations, man.
Absolutely.
A lot of this music, like Kanye was explaining the 808 drum, but that's not the first time I heard him talk about that, man. It's really not. And a lot of the music now is made on a way lower frequency.
Absolutely. If you ever notice, you listen to the radio, it plays faster than you actually listen to the original version.
I wonder why that is.
It's beats per minute, I think they say is has something to do with.
Hey, do they still got the quiet storm going on at nighttime?
I haven't heard, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty
You know,
sure
a lot of people listen to the Sweat Hotel.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same thing as the quiet storm, really.
Yeah, except for you go to sleep and shit while he talking and shit. Like, yeah, just turn shit up. Sit back.
Love my baby.
Hey, you know how like history repeats itself, so you know, fashion and all that stuff. You know what I haven't seen other than on that TV show. Remember how everybody back in the day in the 80s used to have that little rat tail out the
Yeah, we all had one. Hell yeah.
I'm waiting to see if that's gonna come back.
It came back in the front as a mullet.
Them Texas boys down there in Dallas was getting them shags, what they call the fat back. How they had like the fade in the front, but
yeah. What's his name? I can't think of his name. I was like, damn, they really do that shit. I was
That's another shit.
shocked. It was like a big, like a fucking beaver tail or some shit on the back of the head.
Yeah, but you know, that was an old hairstyle for them down there back in the day too, though.
Oh, see, you know what? I would have had to know that because old dude, that rapper, that's light skinned dude, I can't think of his damn name now.
You Yellow Beezy?
Yeah, Yellow Beezy. Yeah, he had that. And I'm like, he had pride with it. But yeah, I want to bring some, Candy wasn't in he wasn't on here when we were talking about this. Hey, Candy, did you hear about what happened in Kalamazoo? I'm pretty sure you didn't know.
No, I didn't.
This man he was barricaded in his house and everything, and he had a standoff, and he He let them have it. They tore the house damn near down to the ground trying to kill his ass. Like literally, like you look at the picture, it's a house, like half the house is like damn near split in half, kind of.
Send me a link on that.
I send it to you because
But,
I
but,
got
go ahead. But go ahead to what was you making on the
okay.
your point on it.
The point was people don't really have any consequences about how certain things will go. Like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure this person, I don't know, the way it unfolded, he probably had an expectation of what was going to happen because he killed a police dog, shot a police, shot another person. So,
Oh yeah, his mind state was I ain't going back.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. He probably was in the mind state of like, well, you know what, I ain't gonna live. I know I ain't gonna live, and I ain't finna be locked up forever. You know, so he was like, it's only one way out. But hell, he ain't going by himself.
What do they call it? It's a form of assisted suicide.
Yeah,
But
it's called
they have
death by.
police.
Yeah, they had the police do it. That happens a lot, believe it or not. And then you know they find out when they find the person have actually a fake gun and stuff like that.
Sad, man, what this world coming to.
Man,
I know.
You know,
One thing they don't speak on. You remember when Ann Arbor had that serial rapist back in like the mid 80s, late 80s?
yeah, they also had the co-ed killer.
Yeah. And that's something that they don't pitch to these college students when they trying to recruit them to come to Michigan. Like, it's a high chance if you're a female that you can get raped because thousands of them happen every year. You don't hear about it.
You remember what happened at Eastern though, right?
Oh, with that case with the dude.
Orange Taylor, he represented himself. Fucking made fucking history.
Was that the one with the he had sex with the dead body?
Yeah, with the pillowcase over the top of him and shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
And he took their PlayStation or whatever, was in his possession and all that shit. And he represented himself. It was so many news cameras on the lawn in Ypsi.
It sound like Florida man type of situation.
Yeah, Florida man always into some shit, man. And that's another thing too, man. A lot of people don't know who Florida man is, but Florida man does some shit.
Man,
you can just read the headline and say Florida. Point blank, period.
They breed a special kind of crazy down that way.
Yeah, Roy, you know who Florida man is? All right, well, it's a headline you'll get. And when some crazy shit happen, like the person with the ice cream truck trying to kill the president, you know, like stuff like that. It's always a Florida man that done the shit.
Yeah.
So that's where the term Florida man comes from.
It was actually
Florida, what you're saying.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
You can do this right now, like Google Florida man and put in your birth date without putting in the year. Just put in the month and day, and it'll bring up a list of crazy shit that happened that dudes in Florida.
Exactly. Hell yeah. Man,
all over the world, not just Florida.
It's true.
Yeah.
Very true. But you know, we don't get all of the crazy news that's going on in the rest of the world, let alone the country.
Actually, it was a murder in where I'm at right now. In the city I'm at right now. It was on Dateline TV last week. They made it to Dateline.
Talking about Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was it was tragic to the point of it was to the point to where they found the people. You said, and I actually caught up with that, Rick. Van Buren did have that case for 2 years, and
yeah, they was covering it up.
The case, the state took over it, and then it got solved in what, 2-3 months?
Yeah. The sad part about it is even though they went into her house because it was the wrong house, they sent a text message, oops, wrong house.
Wrong house. That made it even worse.
They didn't have to kill her. They didn't have to kill her. They could have just tied her up and left her there.
They could.
And what's really crazy about it is the dude, I want to say the main dude, he had confessed to it and he gave it to Van Buren, but they said he was so high off drugs that they couldn't use that as proof.
Well, you guys, that's why they hold you, right?
I don't know. The way the law been handling things as of late, man, who knows?
But you know what? They family, however they did it, they got that money. They went and hired their own people to investigate, jumped in front of it, got people working on it. And then it made it worse because I met them once before. Actually, it left an impression. That's what type of person they was, if you ever met them before. And then another thing, they were on national TV as a contestant, as a winner on Country Idol.
Right.
So that's the first thing that the clickbait gonna say. Country Idol winner contestant murdered, and then. But I think it's crazy that people actually got to the point to where it happened like that. Wrong Door was the name of the show.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel sorry for her, and I definitely feel sorry for her family, but people don't realize how much this destroyed somebody's life that had nothing to do with it. Her ex-boyfriend had to go through so much shit for the last 3 years because everybody was blaming him for it and whatnot. You don't realize how that really affected that man's life, and he ain't had nothing to do with it. And sorries ain't gonna cut it.
No. Most of it was hearsay, whispering and shit, and that's the worst. For you not to be clearly charged of anything, but people want to say what they want to say.
Well, you can't stop folks from talking, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you know how small this city is.
Yeah, I mean, you ask me, Ypsi and Auburn, Belleville, all the same spot.
Yeah, because you can ride through how long would it take to get in Auburn? 3 cities, you can ride through 3 cities in 15 minutes.
Yep. And to be honest, in Ypsi, without taking the interstate anywhere, to get to one point of Ypsi to the other, no matter where you at, it's about a 10-minute drive.
I was just gonna say 10 minutes, yeah.
Man, this world is wild, man. You see, like I said, it's a moral decline, and that's crazy how we went from a country that was supposed to be built on so-called Christian morals and values to do what thou wilt. It should be the whole other law.
Yeah, and then the thing is, though, when you see people that signed the Declaration of Independence, a lot of those names are unfamiliar.
Yeah. And they was unfamiliar to me when I was learning them, and to be honest, I don't even know them no more, except for John Hancock.
Right, and that coined the term "put your Hancock on it," and pause. You know what I'm saying? but shit, they say some black folks was on that, signed that too.
Well, I was a comedian that I can't remember which comedian it was. I think it might have been Eddie Griffin. Yeah, that's what it said. The black man wrote it. You know what I mean? And you got Dave Chappelle, all of them do jokes like that, man. But it's a lot of truth in that. I just was recently listening to a E40 song, and he got a couple songs on there where he is acknowledging like stuff in Black history that most people wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
There was a black lady that was a nurse that was the first to invent a home security system. It was a black dude that taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. It's just a bunch of stuff, and the average person, you never knew that happened. Back in, I want to say the mid 2000s. No, it was about anywhere between 2010 to about 2012 when Obama was in office. I want to say it was his second term. He had released so much amount of money for black farmers because after slavery, that's what most black folks knew how to do was farm, but they couldn't get loans from banks because of racial tensions and whatnot. So a lot of these people, he allotted so much money. If you could prove that you was a farmer, you got like $500,000. But if you was in that age range and you applied for it, they gave them like $25,000 to $30,000 or something like that. And they say at one point, a lot of the black folks in the South own most of the land because once they couldn't, get the money from using the slaves doing the crops and the sharecrop and everything. A lot of them just the slave owners just upped and left. So the black folks stayed there and basically had title claim to it, but legally didn't have no real claim to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is crazy, but this modern day shit going on right now with that. People claiming a hood or area or land that they don't even own.
It never
And
will.
will die for it and don't own it.
Got it tattooed on their skin.
Got a tattoo
Don't
on their
even
skin.
own it.
Don't own it.
Like I tell you, like Jay-Z said, please don't die over the neighborhood that your mama written.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Rent. That's the key word. But some people get it, some people don't. Some people will get it, some people won't. You know.
Yeah, pretty much, man. But we living in a day and age now where people just don't care anymore. They tired of caring because where does it get you?
And you
Like I
know
said,
what?
you know,
You know what?
in
And
the
that's
night,
the thing, though. I can't get mad at somebody for being that way. All I can do is be more encouraged.
you know, like okay. Well, the Black Panther Party was what in the 70s or the 60s?
I want to say probably at their heyday was in the 60s.
Now,
70s.
imagine you had a lot of groups that was forming like that besides the Black Panthers, where they was about their community, you know what I mean, and actually helping people and trying to do things. It's supposedly how most of these inner city gangs really got started. They wasn't out here trying to kill each other. They was trying to protect the community and help them to thrive and grow. Somewhere along the way, a lot of it flipped.
Yeah, a lot of it flipped because you saw what they done to dismantle these groups too.
Infiltrated.
Yeah, infiltrated, separated, you know what I'm saying, and divide and conquer. They
Yeah,
use
them
they use some
alphabet boys.
some messed up tactics to do this stuff. Like it should
would-
be illegal.
Technically it is illegal, but when it's the alphabet boys doing it, they can do what they want.
Right. Right, exactly.
Not to be confused with the alphabet people. Them two different groups.
The alphabet boys, yeah. The alphabet boys give you football numbers.
Yeah.
The alphabet people, they can cancel you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the
Something
difference.
totally different. Even though they ain't really canceled Dave Chappelle, he's still going strong.
They can't cancel you. They can't cancel him. He got them backing him. But what I will say, they signed off on the baby doing a performance. Like they signing off with people now. For him to perform now?
They got the power. I don't know who gave it to him, but they got it.
Well, they signed off on something, which is crazy. And here we is in 2021, blacks don't have that same power.
Nah. You know what they should do to they power to cancel? They should cancel taxes.
You ain't gonna do that shit. Not in our bracket anyway. They canceled it for the billionaires, but not us.
Nah.
Hey, I'm here, man.
Good, man. Shoot, I'm glad. We talking about the generational gap we had. Hey, we was also talking about that shooting in Kalamazoo. That was around the corner from you.
Yeah.
That's fucking
How
crazy.
long ago did this happen?
And you say how long ago did it happen?
It was like, that shit started like at about 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday.
Oh, wow. Is that recent? I thought you were talking about like a week or two ago.
No, this is like fresh.
No, and it was like they took him down like about 4 this morning, but it was like they weren't brave enough to come get his body because it was like, first of all, it started off like with like him and this girl beefing, and this girl and her sister fucked this truck up. So he let off about 15, 16 rounds, hitting his girl sister like about 5 times. So it was like they was looking for him, and it was like, he had not where, they laid him down at, but it was like, motherfuckers playing like he played in the hostage game, but he let them out. But then, like, when he let them out, it was like they sent the dogs in there, he gunned their ass down. So then it was like the female police officer tried to run up on him. He see her, he blast her ass, but she lived. So when they knocked the house down, they thought he was dead. And it was like when they came to check to see was he dead, they left some more rounds. So it was like they practically killed him at 4, but they were too scared to approach him because they didn't know if he was alive or dead still, because the last time they approached him, he still was alive.
And little bro, I gotta ask you this.
What's up?
All this started over because somebody tore his truck up.
Yeah.
Oh man, people lost their life over something. Oh my God.
Hey,
Sorry.
Roy, this Marvin, he from where we from.
Okay.
He
Who
remember
was that?
you.
Who was that?
That's
It's
Candy.
Candyman, Marvin.
You probably know me better by Morrow
Oh, bro.
on Broadway and Clay.
Okay. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Shit, working. Yeah, hell yeah. You ain't gotta wait on me.
But yeah,
But yeah,
but
no.
I want you to give your insight on what
Let
you
me
think
step in the
about
light so y'all can see.
our generation versus the new generation.
Hold on.
I'm tell you like this, man. Our generation, man, we were never scared to lose a fight. Cause if we lost a fight, if we ever lost a fight, we felt like if you got lucky, we could fight again tomorrow so you can show proof of truth. Whereas now, it's like a person punch you in your mouth. Whatever in there is in there. But anyways, when a person loses a fight now, it's like you gotta go get 15 dudes and go get a gun. For what, man? You fall head up. If you lost and you feel like you've been cheated, fight again. But like now, it's like you step on a person's shoe, you die with a little bit of nothing.
Absolutely.
And the
Speak on it,
thing,
little bro.
let me say,
Grunt right there. Just heard.
let me say one more thing. It's like now, it's like I grew up around drunks at the liquor store, and we always gave them money to cop us liquor when we was young. But whereas there's like these kids is beating on the drunks at the liquor store. Who do that?
No respect for their elders.
You're right. Even though they done what they done, we still respected them as them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm listening to
You're
you.
right. This is a different era right here. We didn't just jump on no bombs back in. I feel you.
Oh. You know, Slim and all them used to be at BJ's and all that. Well, no,
Yeah,
but
I
nobody
remember
ever have a thought.
somebody put some sunflower seeds in Slam beer. Oh Lord. And you know, he used to try to sing, he was like,
Man, let me tell you something. Man, I skipped school on the 4th of July. Real shit. I bought all those matching Michigan State outfits. Do you know what he did, man? And y'all know what I'm talking about, Eric Miller. I was like, he's studying in Keith Curtis motherfucking Cadillac, the blue one with the rag on it. I like, man, hey Slim, I'll buy you a 5th if you check out on him. He was like, what you mean? I'm like, here go $20. You know what that motherfucker told that motherfucker? Get your big bubble out ass up out my goddamn Cadillac. Everybody started laughing. And he was like, you hoes, give me my motherfucking money. This was all laughing jokes because it was fun.
Yeah.
Opposed to you trying to jump on somebody like that.
That is the fun now.
yeah, well, the actual part is though, I can actually probably see that in my head right now. So I'm like kind of laughing too, like, damn, that was a moment.
That was back when it was Pete Palmer.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
The fun now is to start a fight and watch it go down, or fight and record it. That's what they like doing now.
That's
Right.
the dumbest shit.
And
And
Candy
it
Man,
could
I'm gonna tell
be-
you something. It's real me. And watch, you gonna fall out laughing when I say this. So if you hit a drink and smoke a cigarette, don't do that. This is what I always tell anybody around me. I do not know how to break up fights. The only thing I know how to do is help. If I ain't gonna help you, I will watch you get your ass whooped.
Exactly.
Hey, hey, Roy. This is a perfect story right here. It was this young cat. I had hired Marvin at my store, and there was this young cat. He ain't know no better, none whatsoever. Ain't been a part of ain't had no ass whooping or nothing. He was mouthing off. Marvin was ready. When I say ready, he was like he would lose it all. He was. I was like, look, man. I had to talk to him like, look, man, that shit ain't working, man. He don't. That's a little
Yeah.
kid. This and that.
But see, we are from the same land, huh?
Yeah,
I'm the
got to
same.
earn some respect though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we go off of hey, we
And watch
we
this,
we,
Candy
we, we
Man.
give respect we expect it.
But I
Right,
have to
and
say,
Candy
I have
Man.
to say, all battles. We got to pick and choose your battles.
And
That's
Candy
true
Man,
too.
this is what I'm gonna
Yes,
say.
sir.
This is my main thing is this. It's like, as simple as this. It don't get no better than this. You know what it takes to start a fight. But at the same time, respect the grounds that you walk on. And if it weren't for him talking to me, I was gonna whoop him like a runaway slave.
I know. That's why I'm like tearing up right now. Like I'm laughing like inside because you was ready, like ready, and he had no clue. He was walking around like, "What did he do that?"
Right.
I couldn't let that shit go down like that. I couldn't, because then
That's
you
my
know,
dude because
We from Ben
I,
Harbor. We trained to go.
I
We trained
respect
to go.
him to
That's
the
all.
fullest. I respect Abdul to the fullest because he opened up that door to let the motherfucker get in. And at the same time, I learned more than what he thought I could learn, but he believed in me. But at the same time, dude, I got power over you and don't even flex that weight. So when you call me outside, like you ready to
Yeah.
roll,
yeah,
you
I
don't
was
even
like,
know what I'm gonna do to your ass.
yeah, man, I couldn't let you do that, man. I'm sorry, I couldn't let you do that. I knew.
Yes,
Okay,
what
man,
sir.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I was the one in '92 that shut down the whole event. I was the one that did that.
Look, whoa. We ain't confessing to no crimes, bro. Hey, whoa.
You said 92?
No, I've been
Let's
already convicted of that shit.
Okay.
I did my time for that shit. But anyways, we're gonna skip past that. But
Okay,
it's
yeah.
all love, man.
Next topic. It's all
Yeah,
love,
that's
baby.
why I said we're gonna skip past that. My thing is this, man. Anybody that came from the mud where we came from, that's doing something productive, I'm always for it.
That's my love right there. I'm the same way.
Yeah, man. Thanks both of y'all. Well, thanks all three of y'all. Actually, all three of y'all.
Yeah. You know, because life too short, man. It's like these kids, they living to die for no
Ooh.
reason.
Come on,
It
y'all.
ain't
Come
like
on.
y'all living to die for a purpose. Y'all
Just
willing to
doing
die
it.
over somebody that might tell on you in the next run. Then y'all think it's cool because somebody above y'all. How I got my game, I soaked up the game that I was around that taught me to get on the level that people that was above me instead of trying to rob and steal and kill from. If you can't find your wealth and find your hustle, you taking them air. They're probably a dead person that mean the world to a lot of people that you breathe.
True.
That's where I stand at, you know. We getting
Hey,
old
but you
as
know
hell.
something? But you know something, though? All that
Go
you
ahead.
just said, those are your principles.
Yeah.
Which is we was just talking about earlier before you came in. A lot of these young niggas, well, excuse me, I ain't gonna say young niggas, young generation, don't
Right.
got no principles to stand on, so they don't know where they going.
And you know what? One thing I say, what's wrong with this young generation? How can you respect the streets when you don't respect your mom and your daddy? Well, you can skip school and smoke blunts and get high with your mom and your daddy. they look at you as a friend instead of a parent. And my
It
mom and my
ain't.
dad,
It's more than that, bro. When you look at it, it all comes back to you, you, you. Through your
right,
story, all I heard was, "Ain't no bitch in this nigga here." These kids nowadays, they say I'm a bitch. I don't understand that. So if you're gonna accept another man calling you a bitch and it's jokingly funny to you, your standards is real low.
right,
Because at the end of the day, certain words, certain ways you come at me, you just pulling it. I feel.
right,
So certain shit like you say, being a Ben Harbor nigga, you call me a bitch, I'm going in your mouth.
right. Cause like when
Yeah,
I got out of prison, that was new to me. People was letting the bitch word fly freely. I'm looking like, where the fuck y'all
exactly.
get that
So
from?
so moving forward, when we say all
Right.
that, we come from a different cut, a different era. Now these young
Mhm.
motherfuckers, it's socially accepted to do this shit. It's socially accepted to disrespect your mom, your sister, and this, that, and other.
And I
We wasn't
wasn't that
raised
for my
like that.
mama and my dad.
But that's what I'm saying. We come from a different era. They'll push their mama and daddy under the bus. It ain't my dope. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Mama, come on out and claim the dope.
Right.
And
That's this
once
new era.
again, I said they go back to the moral and value decline. We actually came up under generations where we was getting raised by our parents and aunties, uncles, and hell, people in the neighborhood. Nowadays, like you said, they friends with their kids. These kids ain't got no leaders or teachers. The only thing they know is the internet, tablets, computers, radio, TV.
We ain't
And
So
have
what
all
they
that.
see another motherfucker doing besides paying attention to their parents.
Right.
but then
And then some of
you
these
once,
parents, like I
yep,
remember
that's
times
it
where
right
it's
there.
my mama, we like, you don't even know what I did to make you have a Merry Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And then
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you something. And after this, I'm gonna let y'all talk and I'm gonna listen. But I gotta tell you something. This white woman told me a story in prison that totally twisted me out because I was finna get into it with a guy. So she was like, Marvin, come back here and talk to me. I'm like, what? I'm done talking. She was like, my sister had this chihuahua and it was my birthday. Every time somebody came to the door, the dog would bark and bark and bark. But they looked at it like the dog was so cute. But my dog woke up out of my bed, which is a Rottweiler. Said the Rottweiler came out the bed and walked in the room, and everybody got quiet and was standing up against the wall. You know what I told her? I said, what the fuck they got to do with me? She was like, because when the boss is in presence, they respect that. And what they realize is that little chihuahua is begging for attention, but that Rottweiler demanded attention.
Good analogy.
It
Point
got me a
taken.
long way in life. Go ahead.
Everybody
Go
there,
ahead.
everybody there. What y'all do? Y'all fall asleep or y'all still
And
caught
no,
up in trance?
I
Actually,
was
no,
just sitting
I'm
there
actually
thinking about
conducting
it.
business right now. I'm just listening, man. Oh, y'all go ahead.
You know.
Oh, I'm gonna let him
Hey,
talk because he listened to me.
go ahead again. Hey, I'm enjoying the conversation and analogies and then looking at the life and looking at these different chapters in life, these young kids, man, like, dude,
Yeah.
where it's going back to this whole conversation. It's like, where did the disconnect come in at? What era did it start losing? I'm
I
beginning
It,
to
want to
think
say
too.
the end
the
of the
Another
era
night.
got
thing
lost. The era got
I'm
lost when
what
parents start becoming friends with their children. That's how I feel. Maybe
I'm gonna
I'm
say,
wrong, but that's how I feel.
I would like
touch
to
it.
say, man, to me, I would say hey, it started happening in the 90s, especially toward the end when 2000 had hit. But you got to look at how many of these parents was children themselves having kids.
No,
Yep.
I'm gonna say it happened in the 80s, like 80 around the crack era.
Crack
Right.
That's
era.
when that's when it happened because my generation came off the porch and we started hustling and getting money. So we really wasn't listening to our parents because we was clearing our own world. So I'm thinking that's where it disenfranchised that around that area right there.
Yeah, it was a decline. You know what I'm saying, and it had been going down ever
And from
since.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
So when
and
we
you
got
go
into
see,
that crack, when we got
It,
into that
it,
crack
it, it,
era,
it was
what?
a decline with the crack era because how can you be a parent and a boss of a child that's making 3 times your check?
Exactly.
So that's where the power struggle come in there. Where's the you can't tell me nothing. I make more money than you. I got crack houses, I got cars and everything. You work every day of your life. You ain't doing it bigger than me.
what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul?
Ooh, right.
Speak on it, brother.
Go ahead. I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead, speak on it because
No, it's a scripture, but that's a hell of a question. And you don't realize that. As somebody that have been hustling in the streets myself, I can speak on that. It bothers me. It has always bothered my conscience. You know what I'm saying? Because I see what it's doing to my people, my community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's like,
it's hard to be somebody that's out there doing that type of work and actually have a conscience about it.
yeah, because I done seen so many people fall victim to being unconscious. When I say unconscious, like a simple example is like Abdullah, he the boss. And it was like people was getting mad at me on my job because they made me the manager because I always been an observer and I always been able to be the type of person where I can watch something and mimic that stuff. So it's like, don't get mad at me because I got a lot of high school scores in school, not because I was the smartest, it's because I was willing to put in that work to study hard. Anything these young guys want in life, to build a family, whatever you choose to do, you got to work hard at it and become a master at what you choose to indulge in. And I ain't saying the dope game is the way. It's like right now, I'm up in age, and it's like I wake up with pride and go to work. And every time Thursday come, yeah, this was all about. This what I'm working for. Opposed to me looking over my shoulder, going in the clubs, trying to be around nonsense. Opposed to where y'all could be around nonsense and I can take my ass to work. And y'all gonna drown in y'all kids trying to still be out here. You know?
It's a sense of pride and satisfaction to be able to pay your bills and take care of your children and your family.
What tablet is that?
They don't really understand that. Fast money goes fast. You ain't really respect the money when it's coming in like the way it's coming in versus when you have to work for it.
Why is you not playing with yours? Well, go get it right then. Go get it right, sister. Go.
Right.
I find myself with my youngest son constantly having to tell him because all he ever do is talk about what he want me to buy and what he want to get. Like, I'm at the point now to try to teach him to understand that, you have to work for the things that you want in life. Is everything not just going to be handed to you? And then once he learned that concept, then it'd be the next thing to teach him, things that come easy to you probably ain't going to like or want as much as the things that you actually had to work for.
Right, because
It comes too easy, it probably ain't good for you.
I should see my mom and my daddy work so hard. It was like my mama was the gridiron gang, whereas my daddy is like, you did pop on, nigga. You blessed me real hard. At the same time, They don't make up for all them days and all them years, day for day, that my mama took care of me. Both of them died less than 60 days apart last year. And
Mm.
it's like, my thing is that you don't never appreciate nothing until you know what it takes to get it.
Yeah.
Like right now, if somebody handed me a Benz right now and just gave it to me, all right, I got a nice car. But if I had to work hard to get that motherfucker, I'm gonna respect it more.
Well, I would say because of the age that you at right now, you wise enough to know that let me take care of this instead of just treating it like anything because it was just gifted to me. You know what I'm saying? That I think that wisdom come in and play a factor in it too. But you absolutely right though. You know, you don't usually ain't gonna respect nothing that's just handed to them. You gonna
Right.
value it a lot more because you know, like you said, you know how
If you
hard
had
you
to
have to
earn
work.
it.
Yeah. So therefore, you're gonna take care of it as best you can because you know how hard you're gonna have to do to replace it. You know what I'm saying? If something happened to it,
Right.
see, that's the importance of I believe with children and having chores and allowance. You know what I'm saying? Because that teach them then.
Hey, my daughter's sitting right here. And I told her, I'm like, if my mom was your mama, you would probably average about 4 to 5 ass whoopings a day. She sitting right here. I'm like, my mama ain't believe in working 8 hours or 10 hours and come home to a nasty house. She gonna even ask who did what and who's supposed to do what. You getting deep fried right then and there.
Everybody.
And it's like this era of time where's the parents pay the kids to clean up, whereas you gonna clean up first. And if I decide to bless you, then that's what it is.
Right.
You know, it wasn't like
Man, I
just
wish
like
we would have told our mama we don't feel like doing something after she done told us to get up and do something.
you getting it. It wasn't no child
Nigga,
abuse back then.
nigga, you
No,
would
no,
get your
no.
fucking shoulder dislocated for that statement.
Yeah, you know how we go in the store down at Eagles and all that. Your mama say, "Don't ask me for shit. I ain't paying for
Don't touch
nothing."
nothing.
Don't
Grab,
touch
Man,
grab,
nothing,
grab
don't
one of
look
them
at
pack of cheese
nothing.
crackers or something. You getting it?
but you know, as black folks, we still come from and that's been passed down from generation to generation that we want to be able to give the things our children didn't have. We want to make their life easier
Right.
because
That's from my
of,
wife on, for real.
you know what I'm saying? So it's understandable. A lot of folks, well, black folks, you know, we don't get there. We'll whoop our kids in front of the police. You know, we don't give a shit. But
Right.
a lot of it be from, we remember all them ass whoopings that we got. So we be like, damn, I would rather not beat my kid ass. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, sometimes talking just don't cut it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know something, you gotta
Right.
look at it like this. At what point as a parent, when you're trying to guide your kid in a direction and they want to keep fighting you to crash and burn? That seems
The
like
reason why, let
that's
me,
how
let
this
me, let me,
new
let me let me speak
new
on that.
this how this new generation is. If you try to guide them in something productive, it seems like they want to fight you for destruction.
Hey, let me take care of this right quick. Let me tell you something, man. It was like I was doing what I was doing in the street. And the last time my mom put her hands on me, I was 16 and I skipped school. And she was like, Mauro, how was school today? I'm like, it was good. She said, what you learned today? I said, learned a lot. She said, how can you learn a lot from school when your ass ain't show up? And she smacked me clean across my face. I'ma show you. I was in position of power wisdom. If I chose to, I could have whooped my mama ass. But out of respect and what she taught me, you know what I did? I walked right up to my bedroom. And when everybody was calling me on the phone, like, Mario, you gonna go to the rec center? You gonna do this and this? No, nigga, I can't go nowhere. And that's the reason why I brought that up, because that's the respect and the power that your parents have over you when you respect them, because they never disrespected you.
Speak on it, young guy. Speak on it.
And I do not have no love, and I don't care who you is. I don't have no love or respect for somebody that don't respect their parents. If their parents is effed up, learn how to walk away before you always come and try to body somebody that don't even carry your bloodline.
I look at it like this. If they don't respect their parents, their chance to get, they ain't got no respect for themselves or anybody else
You
for
know
that matter.
something? He did say a mouthful right there because of what he just said. That's principle. That's principle he just stood on right there. So these young kids, when you call your mama a bitch in her face
Mm-hmm.
and feel she's
Even
supposed to
behind her back.
disown you, yeah, that right there, that ain't no principle. You don't stand on nothing, nigga. Nothing.
I'm gonna
'Cause my
show you
mama,
something.
I'm 50 years old. My mama sitting in there. If I go over there and cuss or something, she come and slap me in my mouth. I'm gonna say, Mama, what I did wrong.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna never ball your fist,
I'm
open
gonna
up your
ask
hand to
you,
hit her.
did you not hear what I said? Mama, what did I do wrong? So you don't put your hands on me no more.
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
too old for this shit.
Correct that. Do you know something, man? This might bring tears to my eyes, man. Cause my mama, man, she went in a lot of comas. You know, man, she went in a coma in Niles. So I rushed up there and I'm like, Mama can't hear me. She out of it. So the nurse was like, Laverne, is you all right? Did she moan or whatever? I said, Mama, can you hear me? She was like, yeah. I said, who I am? So my mama said, and it brought tears to my eyes to know that she snapped out of that coma. She said, I know who you is, you bald head motherfucker.
Hey, that's a goon at heart right there. Like, hey, nigga, I ain't giving up the fight.
Right. And it was like, you know, like a lot of people respect my mom and everything, but I'm going back to y'all because I ain't number 46. Y'all older than me. But one thing that we was always taught was to respect our moms. And even if our moms embarrassed us in front of our friends, that was some shit you had to take.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm gonna let y'all speak on it
Exactly.
because y'all older than me and everything, and I love that wisdom. But go ahead, y'all.
Hey, you spitting it because
Hey,
hey,
man, I can't do nothing but listen.
you saying everything that the guys on this panel was bred from. So hey, we all like damn young and on it.
Right, because you know, it's all love at the end of the day. You know, it was a guy, and I know y'all know him. I ain't gonna speak on his name, whatever. But it was like, your mama got a disability. Why you jumping on her every time when the first come and taking her checks? Then you wind up getting caught in the bag. Well, dude let the air out you, and because you felt like your baby mama set you up, you let the air out of her. Then you mad at the world. Well, while you in prison, your mom's died. But don't forget how you treated her when you was free.
Mm.
Because my mama broke bread was like, one thing about Monroe, in prison, he still helped and pay all the bills. The only thing he do is he called and check up on us, but he never asked for nothing. Because one thing about people from our era, no matter where you put us at, we know how to survive because our parents taught us that. So I used to get mad at my sister. And we'll talk outside of this because y'all know my sister is. I used to get so mad because I'd be like, Mama, why you always leave me the list? You want me to cut up the bell peppers and onion? My sister, she the oldest. She 3 years older than me. Why you send me this? You know what my mama told me? And I swear on everything I love right to this day. She said, what I teach you right now is how to survive. And if you ever have to be out here on your own, you're gonna survive. And right to this day, I'm eating off of what she told me. For as I don't need no woman to cook for me or nothing. I know how to cook everything. My relatives
Well,
tricked me
my
to
mother
the
was a little
degree.
more vulgar than you, young guy, because my mama told me like this. She taught me everything you just spoke on. I could feel the energy, but she put this narrative in my head. You don't need a woman for shit. That's what they make Vaseline for.
Mhm. I'm with you. I'm with you. Go
I,
ahead.
I mean, well, the women nowadays is totally different. You know what I mean? Like,
They microwave babies.
man,
But
listen,
but but I but I feel his energy on what he mean as if though I'm self-made. I can do it all by myself.
Hmm.
My mama trained me for war.
And
She didn't
look,
train me to have to be sucking on a woman titty.
right. I'm
I,
gonna show you something. Let me just say one quick thing.
I
It's
still
gonna be
want
like
that
in three
titty though.
seconds. Let me blast 3 seconds. 3 seconds. You know what? When I met my wife, my house so clean, not cold. You couldn't bet my wife $1 to a bucket of shit that I didn't live with a woman. She didn't even know that was my own crib until a couple of days later. That's how my shit was copacetic. But y'all go ahead.
Hey, I'm
I
gonna hit
mean,
y'all on the I'm gonna
you
hit y'all
got
on
it
the
right.
lyric. Go ahead.
I mean, you look at the younger generation, and man, and I don't get it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't live with plenty of women, and one thing I done learned is have your own shit. Because the first time she get mad at the drop of a hat, get your shit and get out. And
Hey,
Absolutely.
it
that's
don't
why I
matter if
put,
you in there paying all the bills or whatever. You know what I'm
yep.
saying? So I
Mhm.
learned
Hey,
that when I'd rather have my own than and she can come live with me than versus me go live with her.
right. Hey, bro, you know something that people don't know, and I found out the hardest way? When you get married, you say I do to a lot of things that you don't know that you didn't agree to. Do you know, like what you just
That's a
said, paying
relationship.
all the bills and everything, but every time when she called the police come, they tell you leave your kingdom
Your
that you
own house.
built.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the motherfucker ain't spent 50 cents. But you gotta go.
I mean, the way marriage is set up here in America, it ain't no win for the man.
What is
You know what I
marriage?
mean? It's a business proposition basically.
Yes, that's
I mean,
exactly what it is.
it ain't what real actual marriage is supposed to be. Not here in America, it's not.
No, because when I was up there with Abdullah, I'm gonna show you something. Man, my wife came through and she was with with a dude on her job, whatever. So I'm like, go ahead and be with him. Get your shit and go. Do you know, man, this motherfucker bust out the motherfucking picture window in our crib. And so what I do is I lock her ass out the house. The police come and I'm looking like, look, this is what she did. Do you know what them people told me? This in Ypsilanti. The
You gotta
motherfucker
go.
said, these motherfuckers said, well, all right, we know she did that, but this is joint property. And if you mad at her for busting the window out, just tear up everything in the house and we can't do nothing. I'm looking like I pay for everything.
Why would you want to destroy your own property?
Right. That I paid for.
So she just the police just pretty much told you this bitch being petty, you be petty. That's all she said.
Yeah.
No, this is what I did. Listen, this
Well,
was going.
if he would have turned
This
around
was,
and did that, he would have got a domestic violence charge. And he would have been
Exactly.
dead.
I'm finna tell you what was worse. Look, I turn around and leave. I call Abdullah like, I can't go to work. So look, I goes back to her granddaddy crib, not the house that we stayed in. I go to this crib. Do you know, she told these people that I hit her, and her granddad like, no, he been here the whole time. Do you know they let me sit in jail for 24 hours to verify his story?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, y'all told me to get my stuff and leave. I did that, and I left. I never came back to the house ever again. How's y'all coming out here, and she out here, and I left there where y'all told me to leave from?
The end of the day, man, Washington County, they just want that money. They don't give a damn how it go. They, whether they got to lock
Exactly.
you up to get the money or they got to put some charges on you to get the money. Either way, they gonna get some money about you if they can.
Get these shoes up.
Right.
Get these shoes and that backpack up.
They really don't care, man. But it's a difference between women and the generations. Scripture tell us, a man that find a good woman found a good thing. I still believe there's plenty of beautiful queens out here that is actually good women and they worth the pussy that they sit on, man. But it's a lot of them. Shit.
No, the thing is like when a woman meet a good dude and don't see what they got in them, when they turn around and invest everything that they got inside themselves into a nothing ass person, then when you figure out that he ain't shit, now you want to go where the waters run deep. Not with me.
Listen, I just had that incident, man. I literally just had that incident, and I thought I was gonna meet her at the room, but my pride told me, man, be a man and walk away from that because it ain't no good. She's spoiled.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been doing nothing but going through the regular rigmarole. I saved myself a lot of heartache, pain, money, and time by just
And
saying,
man,
"Oh, I'm good."
and you know what's crazy, man? Because like a woman will try to play you close as she can until she realizes you have support. And what I mean by that, I lost my mama and my daddy 60 days apart. And then like my two favorite uncles, then my cousin, we was tight like brothers and sisters. Look, I was drinking and I was feeling down and out. But I know me, when it comes, push to shove, I'm gonna stand up before I crawl on my knees. And like when these police came to the crib and everything, and I had to think about it because I'm a street dude. So I always analyze and think things out. When the police knocked on the window of my truck, she was like, your wife and I said she feared for her life. And I had to think, like, I've been drinking. I ain't never even stepped foot out of this truck. I'm like, what is your rank? He said, I'm a detective. I said, if you're a detective, aren't you smart enough to realize that all the footprints come from my back door to my truck and my feet ain't never touched the ground? Man, the female officer started falling out laughing. I said, don't you think somebody needs to do your job better? And I'm like when we talking about personal issues, it's like you don't even realize. And my grandmama died the same day my mama died, but a year apart. And you worried about who wearing the best stuff, and I'm worried about my family that's in the ground. So I have a lot of respect for life. I'm a diabetic type 2. And I'm going through things that I ain't never been through in my life. My legs and my fingers cramp up and everything. But I get my ass up like I am when I get off the phone with y'all, and I'm gonna take my ass to work. And every time my kids ask me for something, it's all about you can get it.
Show, man. That's what's up, man. This mug ran over. I gotta let this window marinate and go ahead and upload it. I know it's gonna have hella views and shit though too. And I'm also gonna send it to y'all too, like I do. So
Man, it's all love. You ain't gotta send me nothing, because anytime I talk one-on-one, like on these situations we talking about, it's all love, man.
for sure.
It was a lot of jewels being dropped on this one.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload this and finish out my working on my plans I got going on and stuff. But man, all y'all been awesome.
Stay blessed, stay safe, stay dangerous.
Yep. Stay blessed, stay safe, protect your family, and protect yourself.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yep. It's all love, man. I'm gonna get at y'all, man. Next time I'm gonna come in earlier.
For sure. I'll make sure.
All right, that's what's up.
All right.
All right.